That was really good. Look how happy the dogs are that you're here, Colleen. They're like, finally.
Yeah.
Colleen was trying to like talk to me and stuff earlier, and the dogs were out back just barking up a storm. Like, let me at her.
Yeah.
Let me at her.
That's the magnetic seat right there.
Yeah, it totally is. Ooh, I like that.
That's why he's sitting over there. He doesn't want to throw the ball anymore.
Probably. That's probably partially true.
And what happened to the ball? This is way easier to find now.
Didn't that thing?
All hopes of it getting lost if I threw it too far.
Even Blue will play with that one. That's really Jelly's. Butters, he loves that thing. He loves every.
This dog doesn't look like he plays.
As soon as I hide one toy, he finds another. And Jelly used to play with all the toys, but Butter is so aggressive with the toys that they've all given up. Like, they don't care about toys anymore because they're Butters.
This dog is ruling the roost. Who would have thought this funky looking dog?
You know, Blue is. Oh, he just tried to mount Jelly just now, right next to you. He's like, oh, never mind.
I'm gonna get humped today again.
I'm gonna come sit up over here on the back of the couch instead and wait for a better time.
I'll keep a straight face while they hump my back. While we're talking.
Welcome to another edition of the Adjust the Mic podcast. We are on episode 176 or 7.
The humpback of London town.
177. What?
What'd you say?
It's been so long since I've been here. I forgot how random that is.
We have Colleen with it.
Hello.
And we also have, what are we calling T today? What do you want to call him?
I don't know, but he's pretty quick-witted with the dad jokes and the puns all of a sudden today.
He's very punny today.
It's on point.
Because of the haircut.
It is. Like the mullet that's
makes you feel
short.
fresher and sharper and quicker, I think, right?
He looks younger. It's a young kid's hairstyle, right?
Probably.
You shut up, college boy.
What's going on, Dad? How you doing, buddy?
Great to be here. Good to see Colleen again.
I know.
Chilled with Scott this weekend.
You know, I think what happened was we've missed Colleen, right? Like where's Colleen at? Like where's like I haven't seen her. Like I don't get on social media enough to like see what you've been posting on your feed.
I'm not on there really either.
And I feel good about that. Like I feel bad that I'm not more active as far as like trying to promote the group and doing the but I'm so happy just not being heavily involved in social media. Just as
no more deleting that Simon Cowell died.
But I think more on you for you. The reason that you haven't been on social media is the Giants suck balls. They indeed suck the biggest balls.
Okay,
maybe of them all.
You can't say that. That second game, they made that comeback in the fourth quarter.
Didn't you guys just pay Daniel Jones a lot of money to be good at quarterback?
I'm very worried. I'm not going to lie. It sucked.
Didn't you pay Saquon Barkley a little bit of money because you didn't want to pay him a lot of money and now he's injured? So that was a good move.
Okay, so last year, the Giants were showing hope of being a good team, right? Yeah. That the Giants have sucked for like 10 years straight, and I'm not used to that because they normally are. If
They've
they're
been
not
winning
good,
Super Bowls.
they're average.
Even with bad quarterbacks, they win Super Bowls. Yeah.
But it's been horrible, and every game I go and see, at first when I was going to these games, like 8 or 9 years ago, the crowd was just so into it, and it was exciting.
Yeah.
But like the last 5 games I've gone to, it just nobody's really happy. Everyone's just kind of like there watching, hoping for a miracle. So last year we ended good. We went to the playoffs. So my brother calls me this summer. He's like, "You can pick any game you want to go to this year. I can get tickets. What game do you want to go to?" I'm like, "Oh, opening game against the Cowboys. Come on." So fly up there for the weekend to do that. I won't even tell you about how horrible the travel was and how long I spent in the Atlanta airport to get there. But like we get to the game 5 hours early to tailgate because all the members of the golf club that my brother runs are there tailgating. And
did everybody have their shirts tucked in?
Yes. And these people don't tailgate like Florida people. Like
they tuck their shirts in. We don't.
They had a pizza oven.
Oh yeah.
And they were making things in it.
Yeah.
They had somebody, because they all in restaurant stuff, slicing fresh mozzarella, making caprese. Like everything was just tasty. Leveled up.
Isn't it amazing how the people out of our state tailgate?
I was like, where's the barbecue? Where's like the people that already hammered, whatever. But so 5 hours early, Thad, before the game. Okay, now my brother and I went in 2 hours before the game started to walk around because the stadium's huge and you can do that. And we had the club seats, so we can be in that one section that's just for VIP.
That's awesome.
So it starts to kind of sprinkle and rain. And I was like, it's all right. We'll get a poncho. We'll sit out there. It doesn't matter. The Giants are going to play. They have like 3 plays, and they were wonderful and great. The crowd's going nuts. I'm like, oh, my God, we're not cheering for just a first down. This is so great. And then they have a false start and then turn the ball over, and the Cowboys scored. And the crowd went so insane because there was like almost more Cowboys fans there than Giants or something. And then they just kept scoring
Cowboys
on us.
Fans tend to do that.
And it was pouring rain. And by the second quarter, with 7 minutes left, we were losing 32-0. My brother's like, you really think that the Giants are going to come back in the second half and like, we're going to do this and win in the rain? It's like, no. He's like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah, man. And we left.
Ooh, you should not have told me this.
I mean, like, I've been there.
A real fan never leaves, no matter the defeat.
I don't buy
You
that.
stay to the very end.
Not a chance.
I don't know if I would have stayed for
I
that.
watched it.
I think I
watched
would've
it
left.
comfortably in my brother's house 5 miles away, and I turned it off because it was pathetic.
There's one sports team where I will actually stay to the end. That's Orlando Magic games.
That's what I thought.
And only Orlando Magic games, and I have a superstition about it. But everyone else is off the table.
Basketball
You
games
suck,
are a little
I'm out.
different because, like, at least they're kind
They're
of
shorter.
scoring. Yeah, like
There's air conditioning.
when it's raining and it's 42-0, and
It's bad.
You don't even have your starting quarterback.
And you're
playing
around
anymore.
Cowboy fans of all people.
So my brother's like, I'm gonna make it up to you the next night, Monday Night Football. The Jets are playing Aaron Rodgers' first game with the Jets. I watched Hard Knocks on the plane, and he's like, if I get tickets, you want to go to that? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, history, man. Like,
back
Yeah.
to back.
but he's like, I'll have to buy these tickets. I don't just get them.
Yeah.
But he had a bunch of outings for the 9/11 weekend. He was tired. I was like, let's not worry about it. We'll just, whatever. Yeah. And then Aaron Rodgers gets out in the 4th play.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, if we would have bought tickets, because I don't give a fuck about seeing the Jets. I just wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I'd have been so mad.
That was a stinger.
So I appreciate your joyfulness while you're telling this story.
Mm-hmm.
When I know it was not joyful to experience.
I'm used to it
Were
now.
you sad?
How sad is that?
Is it like a numbness?
Yes, completely.
I understand it. Thad, is there any surfers out there that are just not performing well right now and it's emotionally scarring you?
Oh my God.
Like in any way, like her and the Giants?
No, but
that's not the kind of
it's not.
sport, man.
well, there's a dynamic of the way that the year's done. There's a cutoff, and they're making it more like tennis, and that's kind of people are.
You're like, Mark the Ripper just isn't ripping the way you should be ripping.
No, but I'd be psyched just to watch Nathan Florence. He just got to Europe, and
hell yeah,
check his channel out. Yeah.
Hashtag Nathan Lawrence.
Do you watch any other sports besides surfing, like baseball or anything like that?
I mean, I love watching like basketball and football,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably.
I mean, it's not on
Rays
your.
are getting a
It's
new
like
stadium.
like Thad does not have on his refrigerator like a calendar with marked out days and times of sporting events that I would see. Other like now
They have apps for that now.
Now
It's
he
gonna
will
be
text me
a
and my
music
daughter.
tech
He texts me and
video.
my daughter and says, "Hey, big surf competition.
Oh yeah.
This Thursday, 6:00. Make sure you go on WSF and you
WSL.
or WSL and you find it. Yeah. See, and then we'll throw it on and we have
I
the
guess
app
we all
on
have our
thing.
things.
Well, if it's
and watch
Tahiti, you gotta check it out because their wave is phenomenal.
What's kind of cool is it actually really is a lot of fun to watch surfing.
It is.
It's my daughter and I, we follow on our Instagram. Like I got my Lamp and Media Instagram channel, and I follow a lot of surfing videos on there. And Allie, she follows a lot. And you're out there in California. We got
Dave Post, Andy Carr,
Post,
Kenneth Carr,
the Carr brothers. You got I'm forgetting everybody's name
I
right
don't
now.
even know any surfers
What's her
anymore.
name?
You mean Liz and Zealand and Tala?
Zealand and all their surf videos are so badass, and then we watch them and then we'll see some of the ones that they follow. So then we'll follow them, me and my daughter, and then we start sharing them.
Because she's surfing, right, Allie?
A little bit. Like she's been getting out there, but she's not like go like
Yeah.
hardcore with it. She's been out there a few times with
It's
my uncle.
intimidating. You take her to play Linda. That's like
Here's what she told Dad, and I'd love to hear your input on this. I feel like there's an older mentality and a newer mentality that might be coming into play here, and I might be thinking in some of the old school ways too, or I don't know. That first board, that soft top that we got her, we talked about like starting her off on that. I think it's a good board, but I think she has a hard time paddling and catching that wave with it, and it's part of it's her positioning, you know. Like we'll try to tell her like, okay, if the waves are breaking way outside and she sees the other surfers way out there, it's they're out there for a reason. It's because that's where the break is, you know, and you need to really pay attention. Sometimes she'll be in a little too far because she wants to catch the whitewater part of it to practice kind of popping up a lot, you know,
yeah.
and getting the repetition. But then it's just like the waves already kind of pittering out because just the way the trough is, you know, and then that second shore break happens. It's just too close to shore. So then she kind of gets a little unconfident, you know what I mean? And
because she don't want to break her neck. Yeah,
exactly.
Cocoa Beach all day long.
Exactly.
Longer board, shorter board, both boards on the beach, and count your stand-up time.
Yes.
Like play Linda.
Yes,
the
that's where I
waves, the
learned.
waves are a lot steeper there, and they're a lot stronger there.
It's intimidating too, Scott.
and-
She's a girl, and like there's guys like that who've been surfing forever who are
Sure.
like they make it look so easy, and then
Sure.
you're like, how come I can't get it? But you don't realize how long
But when
it took to get like that.
when everybody around here is a young person surfing or whatever, or still even adults or whatever, but when it gets really big, like out of the north and everywhere's out of control, right there in Cocoa Beach, it's like a nursery.
Yes.
I mean, that's why
No, exactly.
you get the, back to back to back to back waves. You
Yeah.
get a stand up time and
Yeah.
yeah.
And see, and that's where, and even my Uncle Gary, he'll be like, hey, try this board, like his board. And she got on there once, and it's a lot bigger of a board, but it's powerful and it's heavier, and fiberglass compared to that soft top that I think gives her a little security.
What's the difference in a
with the
soft top
falls.
and fiberglass?
I mean,
wise.
A lot.
Yeah.
The
It's,
soft top feels like a boogie board.
Yeah.
You can wreck on it and it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And the hard one,
When you're on a surfboard, see, like when I was learning, when I went with Gary, a lot, we'd be at Play Linda a lot, and at first I was scared, because I was even like, using a 6'8" fun shape, and it's a big lunky board, so when it hits you, it hurts. It's not this pointy like or you don't got the gnarly little fins that can be ripping and hitting you, like a smaller, board, but heavy and lunky, but it was something that was steady and sturdy that I could practice getting up on.
Was that
And
soft
sure
or
enough,
fiberglass?
I'm getting up on my knees. That was a fiberglass board, You're getting up on your knees at first, and you're like, no, you got to get up faster, you know what I mean? You're just trying to get up.
Yeah.
And when I finally did it, I mean, I felt like it was a while, and I felt like I did have a lot of time in Cocoa Beach too, to where I remember just driving up there and just by myself repetition catching waves.
Yeah.
And then finally I'd be standing up consistently, and then I'd go down, like take a little left. I was a goofy foot, so I'd go left a lot. And then I'd try to pick up and go right and stand up and lean with your back and kind of go down the right part of the wave and balance, And it's hard, but
Yeah.
you have to have a lot of time too, like someone that's willing to stay all day, and you have to be willing sometimes.
that's not easy in T-ville because you got to go all the way over the bridge and all that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot.
And Allie, all her friends are going to Cocoa Beach at surf, and they're just, repetitioning it, I think, right now.
that's good.
And
That's,
telling her that.
yeah,
And
stand
so
up
she's
time.
telling me that. And so now my job as a parent, I got to get her down there,
Well,
to do that
I thought
more.
I saw her driving. Can't you just drive herself?
Yeah, can you believe that?
No.
She got her permit. She drove my truck the other day. She's getting old, man. She's growing up so quick. Yeah.
Next thing you know, she's gonna be at Cocoa Beach, not just surfing, but having a keg party with the keg
Jesus.
buried in the sand
Oh
while she's
my
skipping school.
Gosh.
Don't act like you weren't there.
I had multiple keg parties at Coconuts there. Multiple. We did it every
You gotta go
weekend
to like Second
for a
Street
whole
or
summer
Fourth
once.
Street, just
Yeah.
far enough down.
4th Street North or South?
South.
Back in like
Right?
2002 to
Just-
It's right
2004
after Coconuts.
or 5, man, you could just
Yeah.
bring a keg out there, bury it right there. No one would say a
Yeah.
word to you. Now you can't take kegs out there. I don't
can't?
think. I think you need a permit or something for
Probably.
it.
You
Last
probably
I
had
heard.
to back then too.
Last I heard.
Yeah,
But-
you can't be just, yeah.
But back then, I mean, there was a lot of fights back then too, though. A lot of people fighting. There's a lot of drama. Like kegs just bring drama.
You're just mad because people used to just steal yours
We
from
loved
parties.
it. We stole. I'm gonna admit this actually. Outside of Cheaters, one time we were down at Coconuts, and we were leaving there to go to my house, and me and one of us were like, "Hey, drop us off real quick, and then come back and get us in a couple minutes to go around the corner," because they had these awesome Corona little flags that were flagging off an area, not the park, And there was all of these Corona. We're like, dude, we could hang that up in the party room all around the top of our,
you brought it back,
It'd be so rad, So we grabbed the whole freaking thing of them, ran them home.
Corona's so cool. I got to decorate my house.
And that was part of like every weekend of getting Corona kegs or
Did
whatever
you
we
take
could get. Oh yeah.
You didn't get caught?
Yeah. Now might.
People are like parking there, like, what
what
the fuck happened to our flags?
It was a lot of fun living in Cocoa Beach. We lived out there in Cape Canaveral area for quite a while, and going to Tai all the time was so it's the best.
Oh man, yeah.
Getting some sushi rolls on the way home. Oh man.
I lived out there for a while, and I worked at both of the Publixes out there.
They're public.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a different experience from working in Titusville and Port St. John, and then you go to Cocoa Beach and you literally have women taking out wet money from their bras and like
all day.
People stealing stuff and like just the crazy shit that you would see in Cocoa Beach. It's like,
yeah,
like the one store that's in Cocoa Beach, not the one in Cape Canaveral. They had an entire aisle of individual beers that you could make your own 6-packs with, and I was like, what? Like, are you serious? Because like at the other stores, it was a pain in the ass to mix them.
I think
like,
you can do that in all of them now.
Yeah, now, but
and,
like,
and I think we're getting more like Cocoa Beach now because we got crazy shit happening all over here now.
Oh yeah,
like all the time, and it's sad. I feel terrible about it, but
terrible about all stuff happening.
Like we just like a lot of the homeless people and a lot of the crazy things that are happening outside. Like we get guys where I work. We get guys.
You have to there. Oh yeah, you have some of those apartments.
Like I work on Garden Street.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
easy.
Even like since 2007, pretty much off. Other than one instance I've worked there, right? And on the weekends, me and Jared, all of us used to have to trade weekends to track trucks and make sure everything's going okay, and then give everybody else a weekend off. And when we did that, we'd leave the side little corner door open, let air in and stuff. You'd be there all by yourself, and just people would walk in asking for money,
Aaron,
propositions, like you name it, it's probably happened. We've had people outside like fighting and arguing and yelling at each other. We've had
it's so weird because it's like at the brewery that's like kind of normal, like downtown and stuff. But like, isn't that a logistics company?
And I'll tell you what, it's happening more frequent. It feels like now. I walked in the subway the other day, and it's the same guy that asked to borrow my phone outside of our office one day. Okay.
Where else are they going to go?
Then
there's food from the restaurants by Publix, and then you go down to US 1, and there's more food in
they're inside Subway, and I walked in, and the guy's like mad and yelling at the lady is behind there because he was trying to get something for free, And then when he walked outside, I think he remembered me from being down there, and then tried to play to me about something. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't today, I actually dialed a phone, put it on speaker to let him try to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? And
what is that?
But then he just wouldn't leave me alone.
Oh God!
I said, God, man, I can't. And I got in there, and then when I'm coming out, he's over in front of Kelsey's yelling at somebody.
Damn.
And then he sees me walk into my truck with my food. Hey, man, hey! And I'm just like, oh my God! Like
you want to get in your sleeping bag?
Guy?
Yeah,
I don't, dude.
That seems very aggressive. He must be kind of like that old young.
Middle, probably 30s.
Oh, so yeah, he's probably just like a drug addict. He don't give a fuck.
I think he was calling his dealer for my phone.
I mean,
probably like, you know what I mean? Saying it was something else for a ride or something. I don't know. And I probably shouldn't have. I just, I guess, I felt bad. And
I seen one of them dudes at the ears deal
Yeah.
on the river.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
stepping up like, hey.
Yeah.
And everybody's
I
like,
remember
"What?"
that.
That guy was
I remember that.
pretty flared up.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that.
Oh my God, there was this
Wow.
guy that would hang out downtown Titusville. You might even know who he is. But he was an older guy. He had white hair. He always carried a backpack.
King.
He just walked around and stuff, but he would not talk
Just
to
getting it
people,
one
and
in.
he would just yell. Like he would yell at nothing all the time. He'd be in the middle of like a sidewalk
Hey,
yelling and screaming.
Was he like,
Kind of, yeah. He would throw his backpack down, try to bow up to people all the time. Well,
yeah.
like I would come into work and I'd go to unlock the doors of the brewery and I'd see him sitting on the chair that's like already there.
Yeah.
And like there's no talking to this guy because like he's somewhere else completely.
Yeah.
So there was this one day where a former TPD officer that I'm friends with was hanging out there, and you don't ever mess with this guy or mess with somebody he loves. He doesn't know this guy from anything. So when I open the door, the guy looks at me. He's like, "Why don't you go fucking kill yourself?" Blah, blah, blah. But this is the kind of stuff he says all the time. So like, whatever. Well, my friend heard it, and it was like, this guy's huge. This old man is like trying to fight him now, like now realizing what's
Jeez.
going on. But this is like downtown Titusville. Everybody knows this guy, and we're
Yeah.
like used to it. But it's getting different because now they're patrolling, but now they have to like find other
Yeah.
places to bug people because like
When I worked down in that Baldwin Shopping Plaza, that
one's got to be bad.
there was a few different people, and we had one guy in particular that we didn't notice. He wasn't a regular. He wasn't a guy that used to like walked up and down the street, walked up and down our little
Yeah.
area and walk across, and they'd sleep over at the old fire station across from where the Curaleaf is now.
Yep.
Okay.
That old fire station there, they sleep
Oh
over
yeah,
in
because
there.
they still hang out at Save a Lot.
A lot of them hang over in that Save
Yeah.
a Lot area. But this one guy out of nowhere just started, and this guy had a car, for a while. I don't know if it was the whole time or not, but because I had to follow him one time to find out where he came
Quote,
from.
lives.
Yeah, like it was that crazy. This guy, he
Had to
was,
follow him, huh?
dude. It took a while, but he was so fun to talk to that we'd be printing shirts and he would just talk and we would just listen. And when he left, it's all we would talk about is this guy was in his past life, and we found out this to be true, was a stunt man. He did stunts for who's the big dog stunt man?
Johnny Weissmuller.
But after
Who's
him,
getting
the one that went over the
Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel. He knew him, and then he did some like old school 70s and 80s movies with some car stunts and everything. And this guy is no more than 110 pounds. Okay, tiny. I mean, all he did was talk about how badass he was. Okay. And he was the best. He would come in and goes like, when I lift weights, I put on a show. Like people would stop working out at gyms and they would walk over to me and they just watch me because I was so small and I could like lift more weight than like everybody in the gym at any
You
time.
just came right out with this?
Yes. And like he would just go and boast about like, oh, one time I was doing this one jump, and there was something going on there, mentally, and it was real sad because you could see like he would go off and keep talking about himself, and then you could kind of bring him back to real life at some points and talk to him in a normal way.
Yeah.
And then he'd just like, once his brain got into it, it would just go. And we
Man.
liked him, you know what I mean? We'd give him the
Some
time, let him, he
people.
just wanted to come talk.
They're
But it started to
wild.
get creepy because it started happening in a weird way. Like too much, we're like, what if something bad happens? We kind of got into that one day. And so we followed where he lived and find out where he stayed at, and just to know,
There was this one lady who like was in downtown for a couple of weeks, but like, and I always feel bad when these people are saying things and they're clearly mentally ill. But sometimes the stories they tell are so amusing that when I'm laughing, it's because like it's boring.
Yeah.
So this lady comes in and she's got all these bags on her arms, right? And like CVS ones, walks in the doors of hardware, drops them all at the entrance and screams, "Can I leave these here?" And I was like, oh shit. So I was like, no, you can't. Blah, blah. She's like, She's like, well, someone's trying to get me. I was just at CVS. They were trying to get my phone. I've been running around trying to get rid of them. And I'm rich. I'm so rich.
I'm rich,
and
bitch.
they know it. I can pay for anything in here. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to need you to like stay over here. So not even a minute later, she's like, you know Sheriff Ivy? I'm like, yes. She's like, yeah, he tried to proposition me. Yep. I stayed at the motel down there. He came in my room, sat down on my bed next to me and said, I want you, but I got a wife. Can I keep this from her? And so I'm going to date Sheriff Ivy. I was like, oh, this lady's going to be fun.
Priceless.
And like, so people are now walking in and she's like, goes on. And I'm wondering if like she's fucking with these people because she's drinking a wine and a beer at the same time because she's rich. Okay. Well, then she goes to leave and somebody says something to her. She goes, oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm 9 months pregnant.
Oh my God.
I'm 40 years old, but I can still have babies. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
But every time I saw her, it was this like, oh shit. But what is she going to say today? Yeah. But yeah.
That's a YouTube channel right there.
Dude, Soft White Underbelly. You ever watch that?
No. What?
Soft White Underbelly?
No.
Out there in LA, you know, that on the Skid Row there.
Okay.
There's a guy who's been, you know, interviewing like people that are hooked on drugs, that are sex, you know, trafficked their whole life, or you know, they have, you know, had multiple pimps. He's interviewed pimps.
Very brave.
It's very
seen that.
It's very intense, and dude, he's very famous actually. He gets a lot of people because he interviews them in a very respectful but intense way. Like there's a lot of real honesty going on. You know what I mean? And about like how so you start feeling bad for these people, and you should. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's not, but at the same time, like Howard Stern all these years has brought on people that, you know, maybe were homeless or and like he might be making fun, but at the same time, he's giving them an opportunity, giving them some ways to make money and loves them. And, you know, got to be able to like, just like with a best friend, you got to be able to laugh at situations, even when they're bad, to help. But I don't know what I'm saying there, other than I just feel bad and I want to make sure it's known. But I don't know. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to. I got another topic.
Oh God.
And it's about the alligator thing, the 13-foot alligator that ate a human down south.
Some dude seen it carrying a body or swallowed it. I don't know. But then I seen an aerial photo of a big blood squirt and a gator.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything except for when Frank tells it to me. So
this topic was for Frank. Frank tweaked his back after the football practice. I guess he tried to like probably tackle somebody or run 100 yards.
I'm just announcer.
Wait,
how do you get hurt?
When Frank gets worked up, you never know.
Coach.
He's known to jump a fence and charge a football game.
Oh my God.
So I think he probably did something like that, and he needed to go rest. And get that taken care of.
Catch up next week,
He
right?
did not sound healthy, so we're going to catch up with him as soon as he's feeling a little bit better there, buddy. We miss
He tries.
But we're talking about this shit anyway because we're talking about homeless. I this morning read something. I don't know if you guys saw this. Have y'all heard that they know who this woman is now? That the alligator ate?
No.
So here's what they...
Is this going to be a joke?
No. It's very real. So there's been a lot of people online speculating on how this happened. There's been a lot of ridiculousness. You know, you have every spectrum of, you know, inappropriateness probably going on too, right? But you have to think that if someone died, then that means there's family members of that person that are alive and seeing this as well, right? The daughter, what came online of the woman, and pretty much was like, so I'm seeing all this, you know, all these different things. They're saying that this woman was enticing the gator and messing with the gator or feeding the gator and all this kind of stuff. She's like, my mother's only, 41 years old or something. She's lives in a homeless camp by one of the creeks and rivers down there. And she was probably walking home that evening and one lunged at her and
Yep.
got her, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And she was like, just kind of gave a whole heartfelt thing about her mother and gave it a real perspective that when I read what she said, it kind of was like, okay. You know what I mean?
It totally makes sense. It happens all the time. You always
Jesus.
hear stories of gators just coming out and people don't give them the respect of knowing, like, they think they're slow.
Yeah.
And this right here, this overcast, wet, and warm all night, all day, this is when they march around. Because they don't have to worry about drying out.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
What about that gator missing its top jaw?
I didn't read it, but it looks sad.
It does.
Yeah.
How's that work? How do they eat?
I know. It's weird.
I was like, what's that even look like? And when I saw the picture, I'm like, oh my God, it really is missing.
It needs to
top.
be pretty much fed for its life. You know
But
what I mean?
isn't it living in the wild or no?
No, it's Savannah Bone from Real Radio 104.1.
Did you call her Savannah Bone?
That's her real last name, Boan. Yeah.
Bowen.
Is it Bowen?
I don't know. I just made that up.
I think it's Bone.
I've never heard her last
Sexy
name.
Savannah.
I
Yeah.
thought you were just like
Sexy
trying,
Savannah.
yeah, like you're trying to be like clever.
I think on her Instagram and all that, I think she goes by her real name,
Leave
like
the
the Bone.
comedy to
Maybe
that,
I'm wrong.
okay?
Yeah, I know, right? But she, Russ Rollins on Real Radio. I was driving to work the other day, and he was talking about that alligator, and he's like, I kept telling her to have her company that they work for to call and try to get that gator over to your Gatorland. So then they'll, because you'll get press and people want to come see that gator. It's going to give you all good attention. And I guess her and her boss and them reached out to whoever had that gator and gave it to them for keeping.
Oh, good.
And just like pretty much how Frank has Chance up there at the St. Augustine
It's going to live
Gator Farm.
without the top
Yep.
part.
Yep.
It's probably like, finally, I can eat.
So they're going to take care of it there, and it's going to be an attraction now, pretty much, probably.
Let's save the rest of the gator talk for the guy who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm probably like
Like
so
you said
wrong.
something,
Everything
and
I
Frank's
said is
like,
probably
I can't
wrong.
believe these people.
Yeah.
But I can believe what you just said because first thing that came to my mind was she was walking near water or where it's, swampy and it's a day like this, it's summer.
Yep.
They're marching around. They're big. You're like, look at that. A snack.
Yep.
And they get big and wonder when they get real big. Sometimes they like to go outside. They're
I mean, I think it was huge.
The ones that I see walking on the
Huge.
golf courses, like when Brent takes pictures and sends them, I'm like, oh my God. But it's always at the great outdoors too, man.
See,
Yeah.
I always fear it when we're golf carting around, just seeing one land right there,
tonight's the night. Yeah.
Chain of
Stuff
lakes,
like this.
man.
Oh, man.
Chain of lakes.
You got to be on your toes there.
Like, I always feel normally pretty comfortable, but the last few times I went there, like on the bank, and they don't even budge when you get near them, and I'm like, oh, they're coming for me, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's real. Yeah.
Let's take a break,
Okay.
and we'll come back and finish up.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Hello? Yes. Hello. This is the Chinese buffet calling.
Yes.
Last time you come in, you eat way too much.
Okay.
You're not allowed back anymore.
Okay.
I got your number from credit card info.
Okay.
This is not homeless shelter. This is restaurant. You eat all expensive food. You eat all that crab leg.
No, I didn't have any crab legs at the restaurant.
You take so much food and not even eat all. I throw out full plates when I leave your table.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You bad customer. You start talking. Yeah, 就是他。我叫他永远不要再过来了。
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. You no come back. You bend.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You've just been pranked by prankdial.com.
Prank dial. Crazy people.
Talk to corporate.
We're not talking about any of your friends.
Yeah. Talk to corporate, man. Your name's been coming up a lot.
You hear that?
What is that?
Hey, do you remember the first time you heard somebody in like elementary school do that in another room? You're like, damn, somebody kick a donkey off the roof.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like. Oh, look.
They started humping each other behind my back while we were like doing
That's
this.
the humpback of
While
London
she's over there
town.
like dying
Yeah.
and heaving, trying to gasp for air, Butters is behind her.
Butter's like, now's my time.
Wow.
What are you gonna do, bitch?
Yeah. She's at a weak point.
There is no rest for the wicked.
Only Zool.
Oh my god.
And we are back from break. Big shout out. Let's just get this one right out of the way. We have big shout out to Sharon Cranston, epic surfer from Cocoa Beach. Probably one of the best Cranston surfers that I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
So shout out.
definitely
Is
the
there a lot
best.
of Cranston surfers?
I don't know.
Just the best.
Ah.
Let's not talk about
Yeah,
the
props.
meddling surfers of the Cranstonites. But big shout out to Sharon.
Indeed.
We love you.
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
I have on here Travis Kelce.
Yep.
Who's he dating?
Listen, I don't know if they're dating, but you know, some little lady named Taylor Swift.
I mean, he's my tight end, I think, in our draft. Did I draft
No,
him?
no, you did not.
No, I didn't. That's
Travis
right. No,
did.
it's my other one.
Because
yeah.
remember,
You're right.
first round,
You're right.
Travis had the 7th pick. I had the 8th. And all for weeks, I'm getting Travis Kelce first round.
How terrible is your team again?
So, hey, I'm not terrible.
Just wondering.
I lost to BJ, and I'm okay with that because BJ's awesome.
I lost
But
everybody.
Travis took him. I had to take Tyreek Hill, which turned out to be way better because Kelsey was hurt, and then Tyreek Hill. But Travis Kelce went to a Taylor Swift concert.
Yep.
Sent her a message that, he wanted to meet up, wants to
Yep.
go to a game. And everybody was just kind of fucking around with the idea,
Uh-huh.
and making all these speculations. And then sure enough, at the fucking game, she's sitting with his mom.
I know.
His mom.
Oh, yeah, it's on. It's happened.
Then I guess they
Well-
went out after. She bought out a restaurant so they could be by themselves.
So badass. Pat McAfee asked, or somebody asked Jason Kelsey, his brother who plays for
Yeah,
Philadelphia, on air, and he gave the best answer. Like he wasn't gonna spill the beans on his bro, but
Well, yeah, but
kind of
he
gave a
he
little bit of
also
enough.
is that sarcastic guy who says shit that people believe even though
Yes.
it's not true. Because he's like, oh yeah, they're 100% dating.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's saying this total bullshit. And people are like, it has been confirmed by him, and it's like
Yeah.
this guy jokes all the time.
Yeah.
But
It's there was a very interesting and first off, I saw on Twitter there was a feed about her exiting the arena from the football game, possibly in a drink cart. Like they hide.
it has to be secret for her.
For her, because she's on a whole
got
other
crazy
level of
people.
famous. If she tries to walk amongst people, they will annihilate her or try to it'd be chaos, right? They have a video of all these people waiting in this area thinking that she has to walk through this area when she leaves, right? So they all wanted to be there. And then all of a sudden there's these people, some security carrying one of these big, tall drink cart things, the metal
Yeah.
ones, and they're wheeling it by. And it's the perfect size for one Taylor Swift human. And everybody on Twitter was like, yeah, that
Oh
is
my God.
probably her.
She just hides
You
in
know?
a drink cart. She's like, nothing to see here. Next to the hot dogs.
Like, is it designed on the inside? Like, is it carpeted? Do they custom make these carts at arenas, or does she gotta get in the old metal shitty cart and just go through the shit and do it just to not be around the people for that long?
So what's weird is that she's there, right? And now most of the time with professional athletes, as soon as they start dating a chick who's famous, whether it's Jessica Simpson, Tony
Yep.
Romo,
All
Khloe
of them.
Kardashian, they start, everything is a jinx or whatever.
Yep.
There's no way these football fans can do that to her because her fans are so insane that they will
They are.
but I
mean-
think it's a cool couple, man.
I think it's because
He's fun.
He's fun. He's funny. He's successful. He's still gonna play good in the NFL. It's not
She's
gonna
gonna
be
make
any
a
worse.
great song about this.
That's what it is. Okay, here's the all right, T. When
Do you know Taylor Swift? Or
when you're
do you? Yeah. Okay.
everybody's got to, right? Are you a Swiftie?
Sure.
Is that what they're called, right?
Yeah.
That's Swifties, right?
How can you not be? Her songs
You're a
are
Swiftie,
catchy
right?
as fuck.
Her
They're so good.
She's a baller. I mean, her and Bieber
What
and
you made me
Gomez
do.
and all of them. These
What
little
you made
kids
me
are
do.
the new adults. They're the new young adults of the industry, really. And I mean, she kills it. I mean, her and Beyonce there's nobody bigger than them two,
3-hour
right?
performances in
Dude.
rain and shit.
That girl's got like groups of women that'll watch her movie and probably cry and watch every second of it over and over and over again.
Hey,
You know,
was it Shake It Off?
Yes.
Is that okay? T.
did you shake it off?
Yeah, man.
Shake it off.
Yeah.
That was
Where'd
a
it
song
go?
everyone had to
It's got
admit.
psyched.
All right, she writes some damn good catchy
Shake it.
music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I just remember that. You know.
Yeah. She's a baller. I mean, she just really
she's
is.
such a
I
good
mean,
songwriter.
yeah.
She writes some cool lyrics. And I'm like, oh, that was clever the way you worded
She
that.
has a good presence. She seems like a level-headed, not crazy. Dude, what? My girl Brittany, you're
Brittany's Instagram videos. Oh my.
it's spiraling, can we say? And I don't want that to happen for
What
the
do you
girl.
mean we?
Look at
I'm just
Butters.
kidding.
Butters is working.
They've been
jelly.
humping each other
Dang, he's
all
getting the aerobic
behind me,
thing
putting
back
on a
there.
show. I'm
Dude,
trying
he
to
was
ignore
back
it.
there, like this. His hips were
Scott's dogs are like
thrusting.
going at it, guys.
Is that like Butters?
That's Butters and Jelly over there. Look how Butters. Look at his happy face and his tongue's hanging all the way down. He's like, look at that long tongue.
Is he exhausted?
His tongue always hangs all the way down.
Yeah.
Look at that dog. His eyes
He's
are
like,
crossed.
He's like Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah. The old cow tongue extension.
Yeah, man, look at it. Surgically lengthened. But
I
it's,
don't even remember what we were talking
the
about
Taylor
now.
Swift thing is it's just crazy. It's awesome. But I mean, it's funny that's the big story in football right now. You're going to watch football stuff
Thank
now,
God.
and that's what everybody.
We need something
everything's-
fun.
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
God,
fun. Yeah.
it can get too serious sometimes.
Yeah. And
Usher's going to be doing Super Bowl. What do you think of that? Or the halftime show?
okay.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Usher's.
Please bring out
He's the
Lil
man.
Jon. Please.
He will.
And Luda.
They'll be all of them will be out there. They'll have a whole crew like Eminem and all them did. You also brought up earlier. I don't know what's this youth flaunting.
What?
Why did I?
Oh,
write
the
that down?
hair?
Why did
The
I write?
hairstyle?
Why did I write that down?
Because you were shaving Silas's hair, and apparently that's not the style. The kids just want to have a huge chunk of hair in the front of their head,
That's what it
and they
was.
get it permed. I had a hair appointment, and there was a high school kid sitting next to me getting a perm. You know what that smells like? First of all, it's horrible. I haven't smelled it in so long because it went out so long ago. But these young kids are perming.
When you get a perm though, you have to keep it up. You have to like do stuff. You have to get curl shampoo for it, right? You got to like do stuff for it.
I
You have
don't
to,
think
like,
they
work hard.
care. They like let it go, so it's just like this fluffy madness on their head.
Like big on top, like
yeah, and it's all shaved, and they do the flip.
yeah. Back in the day, we had the long hair people that I can like bring up right away. You got Valderrama or whatever, that soccer player. Remember him? They used to have that big old hair, and he was a soccer guy, and he was really good. He was real popular back in like the 90s, I think.
I don't know who
Early
you're talking about
2000s.
because I thought you just
Wilder,
said the guy from
Valderrama,
the
or Wilder,
that
Valderrama.
70s show.
Then you had like Kelso guy or whatever, whoever that guy was.
Troy Polamalu.
Then you had my buddy Jared Culiberta for years in high school and afterwards. He used to have this big old,
He did.
hair, like the Sideshow Bob kind of thing. Then our friend Jason Hillard, back in the day, he had the big old. Did you ever have it, T?
See,
Big
yeah.
old rock hair.
So I grew up through the 70s and, the
Yep.
hair and into the 80s and all that. And right there, 84 and all that is, I remember looking at like a photo of Mark Akalupa, right?
Yeah, okay.
And tell him my haircutting person, cut it like that. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that, dude. And,
Kind of like that.
yeah.
You gotta look this guy up.
Wasn't Machado or something? Wasn't he a big? Didn't he have the big old hair back in the day at one point?
Now he has a big old hair, but before it was, I mean, he's got dreadlocks.
That's what he had.
But
dreads.
when he when he was peaking in his pro career, he had like regular hair.
Okay.
I still can't get used to the mullets all the time.
So if you think about it, though, it's like in the 70s, there was a lot of people with longer hair, different, styles. Then in the 80s, then it turned into hairband, rock, like Bon Jovi, all of those guys, Guns N' Roses. It was all like, and that's when the booths, remember booths?
Where they would take the bandana.
The girls would like tease the front and then hairspray the shit out of it. And it would
or
be
the wave.
It would be like this big old fucking, like sometimes it'd be like an oval. Sometimes it was like this real low, way over aerosol or whatever y'all do to it.
Oh, yeah.
And then curled like this up. It was like this weird little thing. And then women, it was like all on how high you could do that front. You know what I mean?
Higher the hair, closer to Jesus.
Right? That was the thing, right?
The Rachel.
And then mullets were kind of there in the 90s, early.
Well, all those
90s.
baseball players, think about that.
The grungy deal was coming in.
It was coming in, and then all of a sudden it was like short hair.
Preppy.
A lot of people had short hair, shaved hair, bald, and then the beard started coming in. It started being a thing where everybody had to have like short hair and like real clean hair, and then beards.
All metroed out,
right? And then the big hair's back with Crocs. Big hair,
butter Crocs.
We had jams back in the day, like we had those jam shorts,
Lamb diggers.
They were like real long shorts that had these wild logos and surfers and things all over it and designs and checker patterns. Then you had Zuba pants.
I had Zuba pants. I was going to say that.
That was around the same time.
Yeah.
Damn, you're going to make me say no fear.
No fear, man. Everybody had a slogan on their shirt about no fear.
Big Johnson. Remember when those came out? Everyone thought they were so clever.
Dude. There was always a cool slogan on the Big Johnson shirts, man. I've got to look that up real quick.
So lame. Yeah, the big hair. I don't get it. But I mean, whatever. It's their hair. I'm going to keep shaving my kids' hair because they won't take care of it. It's just easier.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I shaved. Like, I feel bad because Silas was not cool for a little while, from what I'm hearing. Last year, I shaved his hair one time because when he wakes up in the morning, like, he doesn't try to go comb his hair. And when it's real long, it looks awful. And I feel like I'm not doing my job as a parent if I let you go to school like that. And he goes, everybody goes to school like that. And I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. They kind of do.
Yeah.
Like when I went to school one day and I saw all the kids, I was like, holy
Sometimes
crap.
it's hard to get the kids to, like, especially at that age, like you have to remind them and stay on top of it. I know I sometimes forget Quinn's. And then when she's walking up to class, like in the morning, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
So I would say, hey, like,
might want to run a comb through it.
Please comb your hair. And he'll just, me every morning and just not do it and then forget. And then we're running late because I'm waiting for him or I'm going to do it for him. So I would keep going, you know what? I'm shaving it. Then his mom would be like, no, don't shave it. Don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm shaving it. If you don't go get him a haircut, then I'm cutting it. And then I bought clippers and I cut it. And then me and him are all about it. He's like, yeah, it looks great. And like, he's all like rocking what his dad said. And then I guess behind my back, it's like, everybody's making fun of my short hair.
Sucks.
And I'm like, that's kind of sucks. Now I feel like bad. I don't know, man. And so now it's grown out. And sometimes when he combs it, it looks great. But when he doesn't, it just...
You don't think about that as a parent, like how they are getting judged at school from your actions.
Yeah.
But like Quinn, she will not wear her hair up or let me brush it. So we cut it real short, like to her shoulders. Yeah. And that's working out better. But now she keeps finding scissors and cutting her own hair. I'm not kidding. She has it so short, like on this side. And she's got the attitude where I'm like we, punished her, took away some of her stuff. And then I'm like, Quinn, it is bad to cut. Do not cut your own hair. Are you going to do this again? She looks at me. She's like, yep. God. Like,
wow.
I'm like, would she want bald head? Like, I can't. No, that's not going to happen right now. Like when you're old enough to decide what kind of hairstyle, but like,
wow,
man,
damn,
cut hair everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like we were washing the car. We came in, hair everywhere.
Allie did that back in the day. One time it was, oh my God, it was so funny.
Then 2 days
It
later,
was so bad.
She took all the sunscreen, painted her whole entire room, her body, everything, and she was trying to clean it up and just made a mess. When I walked in the room, I thought it was paint at first. And I was like, oh my God, she's got paint everywhere. But it was sunscreen.
Did it come out easy?
Yeah. I mean, a couple of times of washing it, but I'm kind of used to that because, you know.
It's not 2 times washed.
You remember the story with the oil
yes.
on Brent's birthday?
Oh, man.
My son, Keegan. It was Brent's birthday, and Keegan, I went to the store. Keegan got into the oil, like a gallon thing of it. He was only like 2, and Brent was in his office in a meeting. He dumped it all over the kitchen floor, and Brent didn't know, and he's scooting around because he can't walk or anything. And like, I get home, and this kid's diaper's like, yeah, it's like oil everywhere, and Quinn was little and she's walking through it, and Brent had no idea, and like,
oh man,
I panicked and tried to use towels to clean it up. That was a mistake, huge mistake. I should have used cat litter because it was the floors weren't right for no joke, like 2 or 3 months.
Like oil for a car or oil for
like
food?
cooking oil.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Terrible.
He was in the shower and the water was literally just beating off of his body. Like, it was the craziest thing I ever saw.
Like, Brent.
Brent's lucky it was his birthday.
Slick.
And
maybe it helped the situation.
I was
for
so
the finality
pissed.
of the evening.
But now,
Good job.
but now I can laugh. Like, thank God we can laugh at these stories later. Because man, at the time, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's a big cleanup.
It is, man. Gosh.
Oh, man, kids. Right?
I'm telling you, man. What else we got?
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Tell us about Ozzy.
Man, what's his last name?
Newsom?
I only knew him as Ozzy 321.
Ozzy Smith?
If you're from Titusville, is it really Ozzy Smith? No. But if you're from Titusville and you ever watch launches on the river, you know who Ozzy is. He's tall, white hair, glasses, so into space that you can't believe it. He'll have radio equipment.
Does he look like the guy from Back to the Future?
Kind of, yeah.
Great Scott.
Yeah. So I met Ozzy working at the brewery. He would come in because he worked at the Space Museum, like around the corner. So he would get a Cuban, half a Robinot Red, and work on his computer, watch soccer. And then if there was a launch, he would then go down to the Space Memorial Park and set up stuff. And people that didn't know the area or anything, he would give them flyers to tell them like where to go and like tell them about the launch and stuff. And like, it was cool. Then I finally got to actually talk to him, and he told me that a long time ago, Brevard County had 407 as our area code, and he got them to change it to 321 blast off for Brevard County.
Really?
So he was the one that made all this happen. And
wow. I've never heard the story. That's awesome.
Just so cool. And he passed away. What was it, last week?
Oh
A
man.
couple weeks ago?
Very recently.
Like,
oh man.
It's a big deal if you're a local, and just like to see somebody so passionate about space. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Thad, you hung out with him.
Yeah, since the 80s, he came down from New York. He worked with Patch Communication.
Okay.
And he was all about computers and launches and communication. And I think that he was maybe one of the first guys, or the first guy, to communicate from the hurricane-ravaged South Florida during
Andrew.
Right.
Wow.
And he looked out for, he was beloved, and he is hat tipped.
I feel like he was before his time, because if he, like, the respect that people like him get now, like as younger, like, because he's very intelligent, very smart, and some people think he's like awkward and kind of feel some type of way, but like if he was younger doing all this, people would think he's like the next Bill Gates or something. I mean, he was that into stuff, and I don't know, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be missed. Like, that downtown area is gonna miss just having somebody who genuinely loves talking about space and has no problem taking their free time to like just make other people get excited to be in Titusville.
Isn't it cool to know or to have an experience with someone that is so passionate about like something in particular?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when they talk about it, you just see how they light up and how just they're so about it and want to give you as much assistance or help or want you to have that same experience.
And you wish you had something like that?
Like growing up, it was Bill Nye the Science Guy, right? Like on Science Channel. Like he was so into science and would do it in such a fun way that you want Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Yeah.
He was so just in his little world and doing his shit his way that you just loved him for loving whatever the hell he was doing. You know what I mean? It's awesome, man. It's I wish I would have known him.
Yeah, he will definitely be missed, man.
He was very unique.
Okay.
Like he has a particular.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That was kind of the cool part about him.
Yeah.
I felt special like when he would like talk to me and we'd have more conversations that led past like space stuff because like he didn't talk to people unless he was talked to kind of thing. Like if you engaged with him, then he had no problem, but like he never like pushed his space stuff.
I don't know what the real balance is of people that like don't talk too much, but there's way too many of us that do talk too much.
Yeah.
So we need more of those guys.
Well, like you get him started though, and then people instantly kind of start to regret it because they're like, oh, because it wasn't a short conversation. This is like, hey, we're going to take this. You want about space? Let's go to the 60s. You know, the Apollo program, the Mercury program.
Yeah, he's been there the whole time. And even back in the day, he would hand out these flyers and it'd connect people to like a little newspaper kind of deal, I think, where they could learn stories about what's going on around here and to the launch and whatnot.
That's cool, man. It's almost like he was like he's retiring from being your local social media space person when like nowadays it's like Titusville Times or some like what is it, the Titusville news where it tells you about things. Like now it's like an online version of him. Yeah. That's sharing information about where you can see this or what's growing or what's happening around here, Like, I just hope that the people of Titusville realize what an impact he had because there's no way like back in the day when people didn't have access to information that they did not enjoy like getting knowledge from somebody that was legit and I'm sure it brought people back to Titusville, but he did it all on his own. Like nobody was paying him. Like, so just like kind of for the love.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was a computerist, right?
Yeah, man.
That's what I heard.
Heck yeah. Anything going on rest of this week, guys? You got anything need to plug or what you got going on the rest of the week?
I mean, we were doing a lot of stuff to the house. Trying to get because we got our bay window fixed and all that.
You got a fantasy football team to repair. It's in disarray.
Well, it is not though. Like, I just play people that have really good players.
And by the way, this weather this past few days in the morning is unbelievable.
Thank God.
You're the weatherman, so I'll throw this to you. But I was watching a YouTube video and the guy was saying like the way of this El Nino and how we've been getting so hot, we might be possibly setting ourselves up for this winter of having like a rainier winter. And if that happens, could be some snowy situations that is awkwardly not normal to our area that we could see. Does that make any sense? Have you?
Yes. I've seen it snow here before.
But as far as like any kind of
those years like the El Nino deal when a lot of times it'll be like a cold front come through and way down on the tail end of the cold front, in the Gulf of Mexico, a low will form, normally a lot of times the low's above us, it's ravaging, Alabama, Georgia, whoever. But when they pump up a low on the very tail end and it scoots across the state or the southeast, it can be like tornadic activity.
Okay.
And I guess if you say they're going to get like they're predicting like a blaster.
Yeah, like just a little bit of like some flurries. We're going to see some maybe.
I don't want to see none of that
and things like that.
I do
that we normally don't see. And he goes, hey, these are all just predictions. It could be totally awry.
Wet is cool.
He goes, a lot of us meteorologist guys that are watching this kind of stuff, we're nerding out because we're seeing something happen here that you don't get to see too often. And on historical chart kind of thing.
I just hope it's cold for longer than a week.
I'm about it. It was a really hot summer.
So hot.
But we're getting through it. We're almost, we're in the tailwind.
That little thing from the north that we just got was right.
Yeah, man, it
That
was
was
just
right.
waking up. Like I even jumped in the pool. I think it was Saturday morning at one point, and it was almost like really cold. When you got out the morning, the breeze was so cold, but it felt great. Gosh, it was awesome.
It makes everyone's attitudes like so nice too. Those first couple days, the town's so happy.
It was after this weekend, I feel like in the office, everybody was in a good mood. I wonder if it's partly.
Yeah, it was.
It is like you're tortured.
Yeah.
For so long, it's like here, another sweaty day. Sweat your ass off, and then it's like, hey, guess what? Today, not today.
Bad.
You're not gonna sweat that
Not that bad.
Your hair's gonna stay down.
Let's open the windows. Let's air out the house.
You don't got that shine on you immediately, you know.
Walking outside immediately sweating, walking to the.
At least you don't. I guess you have ball sweat, but the underboob sweat, jeez, man.
Yeah, man. Ball sweat's no joke. So you're in the same boat.
Oh my God, there's so much lightning going on behind you too. Good thing Travis is in here. He'd be struck by now. But
it's been amazing. The lightning storms this summer. I've sat outside and just watched them multiple nights. Just
right over here, right?
Yeah, just
exploding,
just going crazy.
Or doing the no thunder, just light show for an hour.
Yeah, just a light show, just sparkling and light show. And
those are
when
UFOs,
that happened
dog.
a couple months ago, hey, did you see that they scanned the little Mexican aliens?
Yeah,
and they found eggs inside of it, and they really think that it's real. They're really thinking that those are real.
Bablians. That's what them are.
Bablians?
Yep, the little ones.
God.
The clutch.
Do they have Bablians?
That's what I heard.
Lian.
Yeah.
Hey, so before we go, can I talk to you about one really cool thing I got to do?
Yes.
I finally got to ride Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot.
Really?
I'm not kidding when I tell you it is by far the coolest roller coaster I've ever been on. Because I've never, when you go on a roller coaster, you know what to expect. So I've never been on one and had things happen that I'm like, whoa, I can't believe I can do this. So they play music while you're riding it. So when it started, they were playing Everybody Wants to Rule the World. So I'm singing it and going through it, but you are spinning and going up and down, but you don't feel it because everything's so smooth. And you make these maneuvers without going upside down, but it's
that sounds fun.
That's
but
awesome.
You're watching scenes of the movie. It's it's so
I haven't been to Epcot
cool.
in a while. I want to go. I need to go. This winter, I'm going to go once. At least.
Epcot's changing so much. Wait a little bit because they're almost done. The Moana water walkthroughs going to open this Friday. We're doing the pass holder preview.
That's cool.
But you know how the whole middle part, they tore all that down, all the water stuff. So they've had walls around it for they're still there. So we have no idea what's behind it, but it's almost done. So you'll be there just in time.
And how long does that take to get from 95?
To get to Epcot? We get there normally 40, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, because I-4 and 417 always wrecks.
It's not nearly as bad. I mean, it's a nice little drive, actually. Yeah. It's not bad.
No.
The worst part for me was at the 408 that you're coming back on before you take that little turn to come to Titusville. That 408 on the way back sometimes, your GPS will say 28 miles till turn, and those are the shittiest. That's the shittiest part of the drive. As soon as you get past that and you turn onto that one, you're like, oh, I'm almost home. I'm all energy, ready to get almost home. But
you're not.
Miles sucks.
You're not. Yeah. I did also get to ride Tron, which is the new one at Magic Kingdom. That one was really cool too, because Magic Kingdom, all their rides are so old and
yeah, they are.
Mine Train is the newest one, but this one goes inside and outside, and you're riding a light cycle. And you start at 60 miles an hour. You just go shoot straight out, and that's cool. And you go outside.
You're on something you're doing. It's not VR. You're doing.
No, yeah. You're riding the bike, and it shoots you outside, and then you go inside, and everything's like this neon electric stuff. That's cool. That one was fun because Declan's never been on a roller coaster that's done that fast speed.
Wow. That's cool.
And so I'm looking at him waiting, and the look on his face was so awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, these new roller coasters are pretty cool over there.
Dude, I need to
better
get
than
there.
the Carousel of Progress. Just saying.
T, we got to get you out to Disney sometime. Get you some mouse ears.
I like roller coasters.
You'd love Animal Kingdom.
You would.
You would like
Animal Kingdom is shit, dude.
And Everest is
that's Allie's favorite.
That was my favorite until Guardians. No kidding.
Really?
Yeah, because you go backwards in Guardians. Oh, spoiler alert.
I really want to go. Okay, I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll go with you guys.
It's in
sometime.
air conditioning. They have 6 different songs that play at Guardians, and you don't know what you're going to hear, but it's like from the movie. So you can hear that Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember?
I think I want to go with you guys. Sometime.
Conga. Like,
I want to go with you guys sometime. I want to see how all the kids. I want to see how Declan and all them just.
you'll never want to go without us again because we
Really?
get to the front of the line every
That's
single
so
time.
true.
You never wait for one single thing.
That is such a perk.
People hit us up all the time.
Such a bonus.
They're like, "Hey, you gonna be there? Can we go with you?"
Really?
Yeah, you can have like 8 people on your thing.
Party of 8.
Oh, dude, that's badass. Okay, you got me sold. We did that once at right when Islands of Adventure opened up.
Mm.
My uncle Wayne came down to visit, and Wayne's hilarious. And he had one of those. He could walk fine, but he had one of those wheelchair passes. So we get there, and it's me. It's his son, who's about 10 years younger than us, and me and Andrea, and we did the whole park. Hour and a half.
Wow.
The whole. I mean, the Hulk, getting on Spider-Man. When they had the dueling dragons back then.
That's
remember
crazy
that?
at Universal too and Islands of Adventure because like they're
Yeah.
I didn't know how their system works because Disney's like the one they have going on right now is better than the one before.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to use. But we looked into Universal for like it's definitely different.
This was the early days too. But
So-
I'm telling you, he played it up. I was dying because he'd be in that little wheelchair thing. He'd be almost hitting people. Like he's not good at driving the thing. And so that's chaos.
That's the best though.
And we'd stand behind. We're not in front of this guy. And
Yeah.
so he's leading the way and we're
You're like,
behind.
hey, this isn't our fault.
And it's all tense. You know what I mean?
He takes it all for it's like when Declan in the stroller and his train noises behind people that wouldn't move. Oh, it's autism. I don't know what to do. And he's like, whoa, whoa.
Okay, I want to go
People
with you.
get out of the way
I
so
want to go
fast.
just for that.
It's like, oh my God.
But we get to the front of the line. And then he would just stand up out of the thing and just walk.
It's a
very
miracle.
Normally to the ride. And these are hardcore rides. Like no one's having to assist him. We're not like going over to grab his hand to help.
Yeah, most people, they don't need assistance getting on.
No one's saying a word, and we're getting right. And all these people are staring at it. And we had to make a practice. Like I seriously did not look at other people when I was getting on rides because when you looked at them and they looked in your eyes, they're like, I've been standing in this line for an hour and 45 minutes, and you're gonna walk up here and just walk right up on the ride? Like, oh,
well, that's
man.
why they changed it all now.
Whew.
Like at Disney, they actually do an interview, like a more thorough one than they used to, to get the pass, which that's not a problem. We just bring Declan into City Hall and they see him for 2 seconds and they're like, here you go.
The funniest part was on the way home. You know how you have to walk through, a city walk to get to the parking lot? As we're heading back, it starts raining. So me and Andrea and all, we're running.
Yeah, no coverage.
Okay.
That whole spot.
He's walking and he looks so pathetic. And he's like just wet and he's soggy and he just looks just grumpy and dude, it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh man,
That was one of the most fun I've ever had at a park. So yes, we are doing that. I'm going. All right, guys. Well, we love you guys. I missed you.
I
Good
missed
to
you
see
too.
Colleen.
Yes. Maybe
T?
we'll do an impromptu get together this week with
Let's
a friend
do
of
it.
mine.
Yeah, let's
Who's
all
got
get
nothing
together.
to do.
Let's all get together.
And when's Frank deal?
Frank, we'll reschedule with him. I told him just to let me know when he's feeling better. But that should be next week sometime. I'm going to be gone from Thursday to Sunday, going on a cruise.
This guy.
So we'll talk about that when I
No
get
kids.
back. No kids cruise. Adults only. Fun time. We've had it planned for months. I can't wait.
I'm jealous.
Next year, Tom and Dan is doing a cruise in October. And they've already got pre-bookings. And I've been talking to some of the time. That would be T. You ever been on a cruise?
Yes.
They are so much fun. I love cruises because it's like no responsibility of having to drive anywhere, do anything. You could sleep in your room all day or you can go have a blast all day. You know what I mean? Really,
Yeah.
you could do anything you want there. So I love them. I'd love to go on a cruise
never
with a whole
been.
bunch of you guys. That'd be fun, T. One day it's going to happen.
Where are you going?
It's this MSC, I think is the ship out of port. It's a real nice boat, but they just have like a little
Doesn't
island
even
down
matter. They drive to the middle of the ocean and they're like, here's your hotel in the ocean.
there. Yeah. It's MSC is the cruise ship. It is going to Ocean Cay Marine Reserve.
All right.
So I guess it's something owned by them. We're only going for a couple days, so it's down in the Bahamas.
We'll have a good time.
Little island.
Wear sunscreen and don't get too hammered.
Game on. I'm gonna be good.
Don't break your leg.
Fun. I don't want to.
Don't get hammered.
Till
Let's end
next
it on
time.
that.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright. Daisy's in a tube top, screaming from the top of her lungs. This all ends tonight. Daddy's on the floor, he's screaming for more. Saying you're gonna be alright.
Dude, that's just killer. Oh, dude, that was awesome.